Good morning, good morning, good morning. As I want to say, if you can hear the sound of my voice, it is indeed a good morning. This is the co-host of Straight Up the Middle, Clinton Parrish, live on InTouchNews.com. And listen, we're in studio, but we have been being bombarded by a Caribbean festival that's happening right nearby. Listen, I like loud music, but their music is so loud, it is penetrating the walls of our studio. So if you pick up a Caribbean, you feel yourself getting a little two-step, a little jerky, blame it on the Caribbean festival that's happening outside in the outside our studios. It looks like it's going to be a great event. The Tampa Bay Caribbean Carnival 2023 is kicking off, and man, their music's really loud. So I hope y'all can hear me and just put up with that for a minute. We're going to see if we can get them to bring their sound check down a little bit while we get into today's topics. As always, I'm in studio, flying solo, so you know what that means. We're going into therapy session. My man DJ CEO has got me rolling, and Bezel's going to settle in behind the board and keep everything copacetic. But it's just me, you, and all the people that's listening. Going to have a little bit of a chat today and talk about some stuff. You all probably by now have gotten a good whiff of all the major items of the week. You know, they had that the Fox settlement, $787 million. I've never heard of something of that nature as a settlement that you agreed to give up that kind of cash, but they did. You had DeSantis tell Disney why I might build a prison next to Disney. You know, well, he may want to consider that. He may want to consider that, a lot of people around the country like coming to Disney, and they don't want to have a prison, interfering with their enjoyment of It's a Small, Small World. So that was kind of crazy, and looks like the Republicans are turning on old, they're turning on my man DeSantis for some reason. And we got somebody to announce they're running for the Democratic nomination. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Has announced he will be running for the nomination Democratic Party. And Biden said, well, slow down, player. I'm going to announce myself on Tuesday. So Tuesday, we have anticipation of Joe Biden will be making his announcement for president. So just a lot of crazy stuff. I hate to say it this way, but let's say it like it is. The crazy spur of the moment shootings continue. And listen, I try not to go racial. I leave that for Pete. But let me just tell you something. Listen, black folks, just because you see white folks out there pulling guns, shooting people, you can't start doing that. We had a brother up in, I think, Carolina somewhere. He ends up basketball, comes in his yard or something. He shoots a 6-year-old girl, shoots the mama, shoots the dad. I think he shot the dog, the cat, the bird, the fish. And then he decided, I better run. Well, they found him down in Tampa. So, bro, man, you're going to be going back. And not like the 84-year-old who went home after shooting somebody. I don't think they're going to let you out. So we had some crazy shootings in the last couple of weeks. We had that shooting. You got cheerleaders at Walmart getting shot. Now, cheerleaders at Walmart, somebody loads up their car. You got some young lady, and I guess they need to turn around in the driveway. Some yahoo, he unloads 2 barrels of a shotgun in their car. I don't know what that was about. And as they're trying to back out and turn around, he unloads a shotgun into their car. Shootings everywhere, just, and so I just think it was just a time that we all need to take a step back. Do not extra lock and load. I mean, if you're already carrying one piece, don't add a second. We don't need that. But there's just so much going on, so many things to talk about. So we're gonna jump into some of that stuff. I want you to take this number down. This is my call-in number, 813-444-9588. 813-444-9588. So let me just give you a little technical information. We're on a little bit of a delay, okay? So when you hear me talking, I've already said what I've previously said. So I just want to let you know that. So if you call in and You call in on the show, and the line's busy. Just wait a few seconds. Give us a call back. Trust me, I'm here, and our goal is to get your call in. So let's take this first caller. Good morning, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Good morning, caller. Or what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, Clinton Paris. Esquire, you seem a little bored with yourself today.
Hey, listen, I don't think there's anybody that would. I am my favorite person. You know, as my wife would say, I enjoy myself a little bit too much sometimes. But hey, man, appreciate you getting up and calling in, though. Appreciate it very much, my man.
Not a problem at all, sir. It's always good to be on this show because I get to correct the record a little bit. So appreciate the invitation.
I don't even want to start, man. I don't even want to. There's so much stuff. What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Well, let's start with Democratic nomination for president. If you, sir, decided to run for president tomorrow, it wouldn't be because you could be the president, right? It would be because you're probably trying to sell a book. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr., that's exactly what he's probably trying to do, create a book tour, similar to what Marianne Williamson did 4 years ago when she threw herself in the fray. She had a bestseller out, and she was trying to sell more copies. It's all good to hear different perspectives, but the reality is Joe Biden, when he announces next week, will remain the nominee. He's doing a phenomenal job as president. Yes, I said phenomenal. And a big part of that is we're not picking up the paper every day reading about what crazy thing the president has done next like we did from 2016 to 2020. He's stabilized the White House. He's doing things to actually help working-class Americans, and we need to constantly remember that. The presidency isn't about constant change. It's about stability, and that's what Joe Biden has brought to the White House again. Respectability around the world, predictability within the business markets, and stability on the home front.
You mentioned this thing about Kennedy getting in to sell books. So you're telling me in our audience that, and I know you're a seasoned, political observer, as also a successful candidate yourself, having gone to the Florida State Legislature. You're saying that there are other reasons people get into certain races. Let's say like a Tim Scott, maybe, who may have jumped into that race I don't know why he jumped in, but he jumped in. So you're saying that Robert Kennedy, he may not be in for the long haul, or it's more about him selling his book than really pushing the Democratic Party to sharpen its message as we go into the general election.
I'll ask you a question before I answer. Who was the last person to successfully challenge an incumbent president from within their own party?
I know of those that failed. I don't know one that succeeded.
Exactly. It doesn't happen. So, Joe Biden is going to be the presumptive Democratic nominee as the incumbent president. Again, this is a nice play, and a lot of times candidates run for the future, which I think is always a bad strategy, right? You shouldn't run to lose, you run to win every time you run. I just don't see his campaign getting much traction. I think Gavin Newsom, if he decided to run tomorrow, would probably get more traction than Kennedy Jr. would. But even Newsom would lose to Biden in the long run because America isn't far left and we aren't far right, which is what your governor is finding out these past couple of weeks.
Wow. Yeah. So you mentioned my governor, which is DeSantis. So explain what happened with this Disney move. He came back at Disney with building a prison and just some other rhetoric, I thought. Because really, what's really happening, you don't hear about it until it's done. So the fact that in my mind, he would come out and pronounce some of the things that he was looking to try and do, kind of said to me those things were dead on arrival.
So let's go back to Governor DeSantis, 2018. Nobody knew who he was. Obviously, he was an elected congressman on the east coast of Florida in the Jacksonville area, but outside of his constituents, people didn't really know his name. Right. He was a loner in Congress. He didn't have very good relationships with the congressional delegation. But for Donald Trump's 2 tweets and 3 rallies in this state, Adam Putnam likely wins the Republican nomination, and we never hear of Ron DeSantis. The first few months of his administration, people said, okay, he looks like he's trying to govern from the middle. I'm going to give this guy a shot. But then his ambition got in front of him, and he decided he wanted to be president, and he started to do all the things that he saw his predecessor do. Don't forget that this guy, Ron DeSantis, had his kids in commercials building blocks, talking about build the wall like Donald Trump was doing back in 2016. So he's an acolyte, and he thought that he would get the favor of Donald Trump in running for president. And what he's finding out is that he's the modern version of Scott Walker, Wisconsin's former governor. His policies, while they may play well with the far right, they do not play well with most Americans.
Right.
And because he is untested, what we're finding out is that the principles of conservatism, which have been small government, more individual freedoms, he's actually doing the opposite of. He is actually more Tea Party than conservative. And Americans aren't with that agenda.
Yeah, and hold that thought right there. We're going to take a quick break, come back. Let's flesh out, kind of what happened. He was exciting, and suddenly now the Republicans are saying, Chris Christie comes and say, well, he's not really a Republican. So hold that thought, Ed. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. I've got the Honorable former State Representative Ed Narain on the phone with us. We're on In Touch News Radio, reality radio, where everybody can be a star. We will be right back after this quick commercial break.
Of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
Nestled in the heart of West Tampa, the Maduro Marauder Cigar Lounge offers a wide variety of premium cigars from Esteli, Nicaragua. In addition, the lounge offers a relaxed environment for you to come back, lay, chill, and relax and smoke a great cigar. Visit us at our brick and mortar location, 1944 West Main Street, Tampa, as well as online, www.maduromarauders.com.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer? I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen or sundown 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, push your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky. It's a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
Hey Tampa Bay, let's turn up. Are you ready to party with a purpose? Join us for the all-white affair. Hey there, this is Anjali, Queen Bee from 95.7 The Beat.
And TV host Marlo. Join us at American Social on Sunday, April 23rd at 5 p.m. Tickets available now on Eventbrite by searching White Party by the Water.
They're going fast, so don't wait. Proceeds benefit the best program. Tell your friends, get your sexiest white outfit on, and we'll see you there.
In Touch Radio is smooth soul.
Rocking your radio on the sounds of soul.
Playing your favorite R&B. In Touch Radio.
All right, we're back live on In Touch News Radio, reality radio, everybody could be a star. We've got the Honorable Edwin Narain on the telephone line. We're decoding some of the week's activities around DeSantis, and I got a text message sent to me. What is that you're wearing? So if you're listening to the show, you can also watch the show on Facebook. You can watch the show on YouTube, and you can see why I'm on the radio and not on TV. But I'm wearing an old school Kappa fraternity shirt. An old school shirt. A lot of you folks haven't seen one of these because it was old when I got it back in the 80s. So I know it's an old school shirt. You know, we got a lot of activities going on in Tampa with the in the Greek community, and the Kappas are right out front with all of that. And last weekend a big picnic. Today there's a National Panhellenic games going on at Holland Pines Park, so I'm heading over there when I get out of here. Last night they had the kickoff party, Ed. Let me put it like this. I showed the young brothers something. I took over the dance floor. I was busting a move all over the place, letting them know, how we did it back in the 80s. So real good time had by all. Yeah, I was busting a move, man.
How much Ben Gay did you use this morning?
You mean last night?
You're older
last
than me,
night, before I went to bed. Now, I took care of things before I went to bed. I took all my pills, all my salves, all my rubs, and to really top it off, I got up this morning at about 6:30 when I played me a quick 9 holes of golf. I lost a few balls, found a few balls, and I got my mind right for now. But so we were chatting about DeSantis, all right? And you were saying that DeSantis he came in as a real unknown commodity. And he's kind of lost his footing within the Republican Party as it relates to the manner in which he's governing.
So, yeah, let's go back to 2018 again. He was really an unknown, and he was very much untested. As we saw when Andrew Gillum went up against him in 18 and then again with Charlie Crist in 22, he's not a very good debater. He takes a lot of hits. He doesn't counterpunch well. And you've seen that from his team in response to, or the non-response to, many of the Trump allegations that he's launched against him. And the problem that he has is he wants to be the president. He wants to be the mini Trump, a more electable Trump in his mind and his advisors' mind.
Trump-like.
But that's not who he is. Again, because he is very untested. He has taken the governorship and made it he's been more of a dictator and a totalitarian than he's actually been a democratic-style leader of a chamber. So, in other words, the executive branch should be separate from the legislative branch, and because so many legislators have their own ambitions, believing that if he goes to the White House, they could become an interior secretary or an ambassador to a country, they've gone along with what he's wanted to do.
Right.
But this week,
the
largest shot was fired this week, and that was when you saw several members of the Florida congressional delegation openly endorse Donald Trump, the former president. If you cannot wrangle your own congressional delegation, how can you run for president?
Right. I thought that was quite, because so far in the state legislature, they've kind of, followed along behind him. So to see the congressional delegation start to shift back. But it sounds like to me that's a calculated guess that maybe some folks are thinking Donald Trump is still electable.
Well, what it comes down to is a couple of things. One, it's a powerful message. You have several of those congressional members who were in the House, the Florida House and the Florida Senate, who have come out against DeSantis.
And they would be people that would know him, and they would know him personally, having been in Tallahassee.
Quite a few of them. Absolutely.
Right. Yes.
Quite a few of them served with him when he's been governor, so they know who the man is and they know what he's about. But this goes back to a little bit of political inside baseball. If you go to when he got elected, one of Donald Trump's key advisors, Susie Wiles, and again, you'll have to look all of this up, she came and helped DeSantis. Because if you remember, Andrew Gillum had a 9-point lead with about 3 weeks left to go. He was going to be the governor. And Susie Wiles came in, got that campaign fixed up, and the next thing you know, Ron DeSantis won. Okay? Well, how did he thank her? He thanked her by firing her. And, of course, Trump world was pretty upset about that, and she should have been. She's a long-time Politico, very good connections throughout the state. Well, that picture that got tweeted out with those members of the congressional delegation sitting at Donald Trump's table in Mar-a-Lago, thumbs up, smiling, that was her handiwork. Anybody who knows Susie Wiles knows that she is one of the best politicos on the Republican side, and this is just the beginning of what they're planning to do to Governor DeSantis.
Wow. It seemed like to me also on a national level, and I was, I spend my day roaming around conservative news and conservative radio. I find it quite entertaining, and I like to know what people are saying, how outlandish they are, and as preparation. And I was surprised at how many people were taking direct aim at DeSantis. Basically, it seemed it even seemed over the top that they were going out of their way at moments to really bash him, and you know how it is on the Republican side. If the talking heads and conservative radio voices and those folks talk you down, you're done. You know, because you're done.
Well, you have to remember, this man has come in and truly remade the state of Florida to a right-wing state. Right?
Yes.
He's encouraged anybody who felt disenfranchised on the Republican side in their other states to move to Florida. And what does he do? He passes constitutional carry, which the sheriffs will tell you doesn't make us any safer, but they had to play along. You've seen him this week. He signed the bill that now doesn't require unanimous jury verdicts in death penalty cases.
Right.
We have the lowest threshold in the country, lower than Alabama, which still requires 10-2. We're at 8-4 to put someone to death. And by the way, Florida has the highest error rate in the country at over 30%. So what are we seeing this man do? All of the stuff that he has done so far has been picking on poor people. He has picked on black people. He has picked on LGBTQA people. And guess what America's presumptive response has been? It has been a shrug. But when he picked on the mouse, America woke up and said,
you're going too far, man. You're going too. I thought all that was interesting, and I wanted to say, did you think maybe Disney's own lobby finally started getting through to some of the Republicans?
No, that's not what this is.
Okay.
What's happened here is you've seen the governor basically say, hey, a private conversation that a CEO had with his employees is fair game. You didn't like our legislation, we're going to make you pay. And so he went after Walt Disney, and the company said, hey, our lawyers are better than yours. Rule of perpetuities for all the lawyers out there.
Right.
This is our land, and we're going to show you what to do. Well, he got beat, and in the media, the governor didn't like that. And what are we seeing? We're seeing the opposite of leadership. Instead of being a statesman, instead of saying, you know what, we'll find another way to deal with this situation because it's unfair to taxpayers, he's become very vicious and vindictive. And people don't like to see that in their leaders. We want to see our leaders take the high road. And so right now, he looks very, very small, and he's very thin-skinned. And we saw the response with the amendments that came out this week. And I think the legislators, they're tired. They're tired. I mean, their quotes in Politico this week, they're tired of carrying his water for his ambition. This is not about governing. This is about him being president. And guess what? As long as Donald Trump's in the way, he won't win the Republican nomination.
Yeah, and you know, that was the other thing that I thought was made very clear by some of the tack that people who hadn't been very silent as it relates to DeSantis suddenly started to come out. They were much more vocal. I thought they were much more critical of him and Disney than of Trump being indicted. I mean, I'm like, one guy can be a criminal, but you better not mess with that doggone mouse. I tell you that much.
Well, listen, think about that. You're talking about raising taxes, putting toll roads in place. Even if it was a joke, putting a prison near Walt Disney. You're going after the largest employer in Central Florida.
The state, I think, the state of Florida.
Yeah, I mean, just totally responsible for the entire tourism industry in our state. And you're going after that. Not only is that anti-business, it's anti-conservative principles. So for a lot of Republicans, it definitely is a bridge too far. But the thing you've got to remember is this. DeSantis has 3 more years as governor. So a lot of these folks are realizing, wait a minute, if Trump were to win the presidency, which I don't think he can, not only would he get 1 term, technically he could get 2 terms. Okay? And so DeSantis can't hurt them. A Donald Trump tweet can.
Yes.
And so they're hedging their bets.
Yeah, DeSantis doesn't seem to play that kind of ball. Look, we're almost about to get to the break. Tell me, what can we expect from this pending announcement by Biden on Tuesday? Allegedly, he's gonna announce his candidacy. What can we expect to hear there, and what would you think going to be the key things to get people excited going towards the reelection?
Well, this one is going to be interesting because of the nature of our politics today. I think you're going to see the president announce this week, and a concerted effort by the Republicans to remind people about where the economy is, right? We constantly get news that the economy is not fully recovered and that it's just stagnating along. And they're going to say that under Donald Trump things were great. They're also going to try to remind people about the Afghan rollout and make people feel very uncomfortable about Mr. Biden's leadership. But the truth of the matter is the president's done a great job the last 3 years. We do have short memories. We forgot what it was like in the middle of COVID and even coming out of it when people refused to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
And I think he's done a tremendous job. So it's on his team to remind people that America is better off than it was 3 years ago, and we're on the upward trajectory and not the downward one. Hey, and before I leave, I noticed you're wearing the Harry Morris Kappa shirt because you're all old school now.
Whoa, hey, easy there. That's slanderous.
That's a legendary shirt that she's got on, man.
Yes,
but
it's
I do want to, send my condolences to the Lee family. When I get off with you here, we're going over to the funeral. Brother Clarence Lee was a beloved brother of the Tampa Alumni Chapter, former Polemark, and just an outstanding man. And we lost him this week, and it's been tough on me, man, because I just keep thinking the last 3 years how many of our good brothers that we have lost, man. It's been tough.
He led the effort to make I would say our chapter a more compassionate, inclusive place for people to be. He was probably one of the first poll marks that really took a hard stand on making it an inclusive space. And, we had a great time last night at his memorial. Myself, Brother Henry Bell, and some other brothers spoke, and it was just, real good celebration last night with the family and then with the brothers. And, you're right, he is going to be missed, but just a great person, and I'm glad that you can make it over there. I don't know, are you going to make it out to the picnic this afternoon?
Probably not. My Greek games days are over. There's no basketball for me to prove my dominance at. So
absolutely, yeah. So there's a split. We have a lot of going on in this community. So thank you for going over that event. I'll be at the picnic, representing fraternity. Thanks as always, the Honorable Ed Narain, everybody coming in live on our show. Have a great afternoon, Brother Narain. Listen up. We're gonna take this break and come back on the other side. Of course, we're taking calls. Call in if you want to. 813-444-9588. In Touch News Radio, Reality Radio, where everybody could be a star. We'll be right back after this quick break.
In Touch Radio, where you can listen to a cruising flow of smooth soul and jazz, today's R&B, a fun touch of hip-hop and gospel.
All my music on one station.
Giving you a buffet of music, news, and entertainment. We're In Touch Radio.
Hi, I'm Angela Birdsong, and during the week, they call me the Medicare lady. I help people successfully transition onto Medicare, sometimes Medicaid. I also help people with life insurance, long-term care insurance, and annuities. Please do not try to navigate Medicare without me. It's complicated. 813-476-4837.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
In Touch Radio, the most loved station across the nation. In Touch Radio. Tell a friend. In Touch Radio.
All right, we're back live on In Touch News Radio, Reality Radio, where everybody could be a star. Again, my name is Clinton Paris, live in studio here at the thriving metropolis of 5508 in Tampa, Florida. Getting it in. Listen, spring is in the air. I don't know where you are, what you're doing around the country. We're an international show, and we try to keep the flavor broad enough that everybody finds something. But listen, this is a great time of year to start getting out and about. Get your fit on, get back in shape, you know. Get the LBs right. for summertime, so we can get out and do some things. So wherever you are, if your community is anything like mine, I'm always triple booked. I've always got too many things, too many things, and you're always shuffling between those things. Just yesterday, I had a memorial service. There was the George H. Bar Association gala, and there was a National Panhellenic picnic kickoff party. I like how folks do stuff. We're going to party at night to kick off the day picnic, but we're going to do this. Had that. Then we roll in today. As I would do, I got up early this morning, went out and played me 9 holes of golf. Got to keep my swing right, because you never know when a golf match is going to break out someplace, and I need to be ready for it. So got my golf in. I ran in here to be with you, right? Spend this quality time, just you and I together. I'm leaving here going to the picnic. Then I've got a charity gala tonight, raising money for mental health for Reach Up, and it just keeps going on. That's just today. I don't even want to look at tomorrow, and I'm missing all kinds of events. And I guarantee you, if you were to get out in your community, all kinds of things are happening. So get out and about. And share in some of the excitement that's going on. So somebody just sent me a message as we were talking to Ed and Randy, and the message says, well, DeSantis' Achilles, it might be gun policy signed in at 11 o'clock at night about this gun policy. And we got a call. I'm going to bring this call on. Check this out, man. One of the best things DeSantis did for his base was more guns, right? And I'm not going to call out the person who sent me this message. I bet you packing too. The gun thing, that abortion thing and messing with that mouse, the Mickey thing, that's going to be big, because you don't mess with Mickey. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got a caller on the phone. Caller, good morning. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, this Charlie Trucker calling in. I just listened to Mr. Atty Rain. He's the guy that works for Fresh Air, man, just to listen to his commentary about, politics or whatever, he just dropped a whole bunch of information that, and DeSantis, he's really barking up the wrong tree, nothing with Disney World. That's good. That's not a good path for him to follow.
Yeah. Listen, so you're a big Biden guy, right, Carl?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Biden guy. Man. He's my hero.
Right. Somebody told me previously that you were an older man, but check this out. What do you expect from his announcement coming Tuesday? What do you think we can expect to feel after that happens? You think we'll be excited? Is there something in particular you think he's going to say? Is it about time? General, how do you feel, and what are your thoughts about the coming announcement by Joe Biden that he is going to run for president again?
With Joe Biden, you get a lot of things with him. I mean, he really speaks from the heart. When this guy got shot going to the wrong house, he called the guy and he let him know that he means something.
Yeah.
He's an indicated president. He at the economy. I mean, he's really handling the economy. He's and when he gave the State of the Union, I mean, he was right on point.
Yes. Yeah. No, he did a great. I thought he did a great job too. Do you think the fact that he's going to be 82 at re-election, is that an issue?
No, it's not. But they're going to make it an issue. I mean, politics, though. They're going to try to find his weaknesses. They're going to go after him, but and that is his age, but his cognitive and his attentiveness. I think he's pretty much focused. Politics is really nasty and dirty. If you find somebody's weakness, you're going to kick them and you're going to drag them as much as you can. So, and that's going to be Republicans' angle there. But as long as he have his he stay on message and keep the economy moving forward, they can't use that against him.
Well, I mean, they could try to use it against him, but not.
They can try to, yeah.
Right, exactly.
And with DeSantis, he's just trying to find his footing. trying to separate himself away from Trump. But you know, he won't. I think he's just really lost. He's lost in
right,
and
exactly.
in politics. That's you can't be lost at this time. You know,
Right.
he waited too late for that.
Gotcha. Well, all right, Carl. Appreciate you listening as always. Of course, appreciate you calling. More importantly, appreciate you running up and down those highways, making sure our goods are being delivered in a safe place. And one more time, when people want to let folks get change. When people want to change lanes, let them get over it. Tell the truckers, y'all, come on, man, share the road. Be nice to the people.
Let's say the misconstruction with truck drivers. We cannot get in that left lane. We only have the right lane and that middle lane. We can't get in that left lane. That's a fine if we get in that left lane. But, you know, sometimes we have to, you know, move over to that left lane just to get around the emerging traffic.
I'm just saying, man, y'all can do. Just be nice.
When we're rolling, we cannot stop on a dime. We cannot stop on a dime.
I hear you, man. But listen, I'm just saying, you see the signal. You see them people that signal on. I'm just saying, be nice, share the road, let people in. All right, Carl. Hey, be safe out there, my man. Listen, I appreciate you calling as always. All right, so that was Carl the trucker. Everybody calling in, giving us his, I would say 2 cents, but I think he got all the way up to about maybe 4 or 5 cents. So we got a little more than normal than we would normally get. Listen, and that cat's been with me a long time, man. Was at my other show. He's been calling and hanging around, listening for years and years and years. So I appreciate that very much. You know, I mean, I go back and forth trying to think, in what profession is 82 a good age to be doing it? A profession. I'm not saying that your grandma can't sing a song at church. That's not what we're asking. I'm not asking that. I'm not asking, can your granddaddy still, you know, can he still grow some tomatoes out back in the garden? I'm not asking that. I'm saying at 82, what profession are you at your peak? And we're asking, or Joe Biden is saying and trying to convince us, at 82, he is up to doing the most difficult, complex job I think there is in America, and that is to be president. So that's going to be very interesting thing to keep our eye on, because if he doesn't make a strong presentation, I think that's going to add fuel to the fire, and we're just confused. So we've got Joe Biden, where the majority of people that said they voted for him, I think 47%, are not in favor of him running again. You've got the other leading candidate under indictment for crimes and pending 2 more indictments for more crimes. And then we've got this DeSantis guy who looks like the third option on the Republican side, doing some of the craziest stuff. And then I think you got a bunch of other, I call them political profiteers. They're looking to profit off being in the political world, as we just mentioned about Robert F. Kennedy. You heard Ed Lorraine say that he thinks he's just selling books. You know, a lot of people get in the race because of selling, like Tim Scott got in the race. Where's his bait? Who's supporting Tim Scott? Who's supporting Tim Scott? Again, I call them political profiteers. And those are people that make their living and profit off the idea of the political ecosystem. It's unfortunate, but hey, that's capitalism. I always say this: capitalism has no conscience. It will make anything profitable. If you don't believe me, just look and see what they do sometimes with hair that's cut in the barbershop. All kinds of cadaver bodies. Anything that capitalism can get its hands on, it will turn it into a profit. So look, we're up on our last break of the show. We're going to take this last break. We come back. Got a couple more things I want to get to. Couple more things. What happened to that banking crisis? It's like it disappeared, right? You know what I mean? There was a banking crisis, and then there wasn't a banking crisis. And I'm trying to figure out what happened to the banking crisis. Let's talk about it when we come back. In Touch News Radio, Reality Radio. We'll be right back after this quick break. Hold on, caller. We're with you in a minute.
heart of West Tampa, the Maduro Marauder Cigar Lounge offers a wide variety of premium cigars from Esteli, Nicaragua. In addition, the lounge offers a relaxed environment for you to come back, lay, chill, and relax and smoke a great cigar. Visit us at our brick and mortar location, 1944 West Main Street, Tampa, as well as online, www.maduromarauders.com.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here for you.
In Touch Radio, the most loved station across the nation. In Touch Radio. Tell a friend. In Touch Radio.
All right, we're back live on In Touch News Radio, reality radio, where everybody can be a star. This is straight up the middle. If you're ever confused about it, don't be. And to whoever that is, keep sending me those testy emails about you're not up the middle, you're a radical leftist. No, you're a radical rightist. How about that? Man, takes one to know one. Look, I am straight up the middle. You must be off to the side, because what I say is straight down the middle. So if you're not agreeing with me completely, vociferously, in every way, shape, or fashion, you're the one that needs to do some self-analysis. We're going to leave that where it is, though, and we'll get back to your emails later. All right, we got a caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Good morning, caller.
From Atlanta, Georgia.
All right. So, okay. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Julius Wilcox.
All right, okay, Drew. First of all, I found something out about people that tell me they're from Atlanta. A lot of them are not really from Atlanta. They're nearby Atlanta. So let's clear this up. Let's clear it up. Let's get it straight now. Are you like really like on Peach Drive or Street or whatever it is? Or are you up in Buckhead or what's the give the people the real truth? Cause we will find you.
Hey, I'm probably 40 minutes from the city. I'm out in,
all right, man. That's all good. That's all good. Listen, man. Did you hear about the Georgia football coach who drove through Atlanta? You hear about that a couple weeks back?
Oh no,
man. Hey, I'm gonna leave it at this. When we get off the air, I want you to Google Georgia football coach Atlanta and just let it play and listen. My man was driving down Peachtree, and he went off the rails. But Julius, I just teased this up. Let's see if it hits in your basket. We had a banking crisis, and then suddenly we didn't have a banking crisis. And I haven't done all the research on it and whatnot. Did that kind of strike you as kind of odd that suddenly we had banking issues, and then suddenly people decided it's not a good idea to have banking? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think one of the things that people aren't aware of is, or they are aware of, is our economy has proven to be more resilient than many of the experts predicted it to be.
Okay.
Our job rate for unemployment is at 3.4,
okay,
which is at a 54-year low.
Wow.
And so one of the things you're looking at is people have jobs.
Right.
Now, the people that were losing their money in this banking crisis, they were pretty wealthy. This wasn't the mom and pop who had less than that $250,000 in the bank.
Right.
These were the 1%ers who were losing their money.
Right.
And so I don't know, but if you look at the history of the United States, people with money are protected.
Got it.
So
yeah,
I would definitely be afraid if my bank, over at Bank One United, the largest black bank in the U.S., was in trouble. But I don't think that this was going to be an overall system failure.
Right. So let's shift politically. Biden's going to be making this big announcement next week. Is that going? You think him rerunning for president is good for the country, or is it time that we move on?
Oh man, that is a huge question for a lot of people to reflect on over these next few months. And I think that people who are jumping into the arena are simply jumping in hoping that a heart attack comes on and they're the last one standing.
Yeah.
But also, whether it's good for the country, having a 82-year-old man running the country who will be 86 if he finishes this thing, that's hard to say. But I do know that it is better than waking up every day wondering what has happened overnight if someone's been arrested or if somebody else is a new target of hate. So it's not many more people who are going to be in line in front of black folks. I mean, they've attacked everybody else.
Yeah.
And, they're attacking us too. I would prefer to not have to worry about that as much.
Well, you're absolutely right. And we're down in Florida, and you can see we've got the, we've got, I don't even know what they call this guy that's in the governor's mansion in the state of Florida doing all kinds of things that implies that, look, you need to make sure whoever's in leadership, they're stable. They've got they have a long view as to where society needs to go and how to build out a country long term. That's why China, is starting to is making such strides that it is. It's playing a long game. It's playing a 100-year game. We play a 4-year game, maybe really a 2-year game. And so that issue that you just bring up is one of the things. If we switch, think about, okay, so who's likely to be president if it's not Joe Biden? It's going to be Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, Kamala Harris, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Tim Scott, Nikki Haley, and I can keep on coming. And none of those people, I would be comfortable. The most comfortable I think I would be is probably maybe Nikki Haley. I'm not sure. I got to find out some more stuff. But the other ones make me a little worried if they were to become president. So if not Joe Biden, my question would be for you, then who then? If it's not Joe Biden, who? And I only got 30 seconds.
Well, I want to let you guys know that on Monday I will be declaring my nomination for president. And I have this book coming. I got this book coming out.
You got a book coming out. Now let me
not think that.
Yeah. Enough, man. Look, hey, I think it has to be more than 5 pages. If it's 5 pages or less, it's called a pamphlet. That's not an actual book. Hey, Mr. Wilcox, I appreciate you calling into the show. Appreciate you listening. Keep things straight on the outskirts of Atlanta, man, and you be safe and have a wonderful Saturday. All right, man. Tell you, that was my man J-Dub out of Atlanta calling in, he did everything but give us his social and date of birth. I need to talk to him about that. Listen, everybody, I appreciate you coming in with us on Saturday. Get out, go out, do something. But how about you do this right now, though? Stick around for Stay Woke. It's coming up right after we get off the air, transition over. I'm not going to call it a family thing, but my man Walter Dunn III is on that show, and he is family, so guess what that means? Y'all need to stick around. Check him out. Him and Michelle Williams are going to be laying down the facts, so hang around, get some more information, education, but most of all, stay woke. We'll be back next week on In Touch News Radio, reality radio, where everybody can be a star. See you.
Make this song for any man that's committed infidelity, and to any woman that granted forgiveness. Off top, I just wanna be a better man for you, baby. Just tell me what I need to do. First of all, let me say I'm sorry for betraying your trust. And if you forgive me, I'll spend a lifetime, making it down to you. There's nothing I won't do. 'Cause when I broke your heart, I broke my own. I realized it was foolish to jeopardize my home. So I'll say it 3 more times. I'm sorry, I'm sorry,